What's going on, guys? It's Caliphy here today, coming back with our round 8 game versus Middlesex in the NatWest T20 Blast, whatever you want to go and call it. And before I go and get into, I guess, the whole of this video, I just want to quickly, as that's driven aerially, just want to quickly talk about the new series that I'm looking at launching. I did say I was going to go and try and do it this coming Wednesday, but things just haven't really worked out. I haven't quite got enough players for 4 teams yet. I was kind of hoping for 5, but 4 is probably looking like the more realistic number that we're going to go and get. So if you haven't gone and made a player yet or found out if you are in or out of that series, make sure you go and check out my Facebook page. The link to that can be found down below in the description. Put that one away for a 4. Diving Fielder couldn't get there. But yeah, go and check out my Facebook page. That's basically got all the information on it about what is happening. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. And as I said, can't really start it this Wednesday because we need to, well, we kind of need to get everyone together probably through like a Skype call and do like a fantasy kind of draft kind of thing to see who's going to be playing for what franchise, we shall say. But yeah, really looking forward to it, and it is going to be a whole lot of fun. So now that we've gone and done that, we can get into the rest of the video. I'm just going to take one there actually and give Jimmy Adams the final 2 balls of the over. But not really too much cricketing-wise has been happening. Obviously, the 5th ODI was last night or this morning, depending on where you are. England just at all sorts. Only made 130-odd. And the big, I guess the big talking point probably is Owen Morgan, who got hit in the helmet by Mitchell Starc, and Mitchell Starc bounced in. There was a lot of concern that was going on because when he got hit, he just went and kind of looked a bit dazed and just you know, kind of wiggled around. It didn't look like he was there much. Mitchell Starc went running straight up. Steve Smith and I think George Bailey, who was in under the helmet, straight up and called out the physio. So Morgan retired. He only made 1, didn't come back and bat. I don't know if he came back and fielded, but Australia won quite comfortably in the end by 8 wickets against the English. So with that, they clinched the series 3-2, and it was a very exciting series because it was the Australians started off really well, and you thought they were going to go and just absolutely romp it. The English came back and really did perform well, and so it's good for the English side because a lot of people have been saying that. Well, I think there was an article on Cricinfo that now basically in England, before, you know, you had to almost be like aspiring to be a Test player, and like you're in the one-day squad and still trying to get into that Test squad. That's like the ultimate, I guess you would say. But now there's a lot of, I'm trying to think of the word, there's a lot of, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. What am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? You know, you can get into the England setup, you know, just as a specialist one-day player, and there are people who are in there that are specialist one-day players and really going and making their mark. And I think that's what every team needs. And you look at the big sides, you know, they've got their players who are, you know, just your test, not necessarily just your test specialists, but probably more excel in test matches, and then they have, you know, play one days as well, play all 3 formats. I mean, I'm just trying to think of someone off the top of my head, maybe like Martin Guptill from New Zealand, you know, decent enough test match player, very good limited overs player, but he's always going to be in there just because of the spot that he goes and bats. And, you know, just like that. And I think in England, it always has been like test cricket has been number 1. Whereas now I think the tide is slowly turning, and I think with the young English batsmen that are coming through, I mean, like I like the look of a lot of the young English players that are coming through. They're playing without fear. You go and look through their domestic records; they're scoring at over 100 strike rate in one-day games, which is you know, it's a good thing to see. They want to play exciting cricket. They're playing without fear. They're willing to go and take risks, and I think that's what England needs because, you know, they had a disastrous World Cup. We're not even going to go and get started on that. But they're rebuilding very nicely after that. They've got a lot of new players that have come in. And I just realised I have not played a shot, an aerial shot, this whole innings. I've just been nudging it around. Oh, God. No, get back. Oh, Jesus. That's what happens when you don't play through the covers. You almost get run out. I don't know what Harris this is. I'm not sure. But Mitchell Marsh, man of the series, he took 4 for last night as well. So he's one of those guys that I think really in like the one-day game, where he's batting at like 7 and 8, he is a very, very good player because he's a guy who's, you know, he's still going to contribute with the bat. He's going to contribute quickly. But with the ball, he has been one of those guys that has been a standout for me. I mean, most of the times he's been playing technically as the fourth seamer, shall we say. We've had the three frontline guys, and then we've had Mitchell Marsh, you know, when Ashton Agar's played. Obviously, he has been the third seamer, and they've gone with that, depending on the pitch type, obviously. But really impressed with the way he's going as a fourth seamer. And I mean, Mitchell Marsh is one of those guys that has just, you know, he's had so much potential, and he's just had, I guess he's had a lot of weight on his shoulders, especially from a young age. You know, he's been touted as one of those guys that's going to be Australia's next big all-rounder. And the question is now, going forward, can Australia fit? Because, I mean, James Faulkner, he's a guy, a lot of people don't like him, but he is a match winner. He is a guy who can win you a match, like Mitchell Marsh, with both bat and ball. Do Australia have the needs? No, computer, don't restart. My computer apparently is restarting in 15 minutes. Okay, we're gonna have to speed things along here then. Why would it do that? Why would it do that to me this morning? Why? But yeah, both of those guys are match winners, and it's just now really a case of, can Australia manage to fit both Faulkner and Mitchell Marsh into the starting 11? Personally, I think yes. It means one of them is going to have to bat higher up. You know, maybe bat inside the top 6. Means people are going to have to go and bunch up and all that. But personally, I think it can happen. And I mean, it does give you a lot of options when it comes to bowling as well. You know, if you're playing overseas, playing in, I guess, subcontinental conditions, you can really go. And because you do have those two all-rounders that are, oh no, it's not a good shot. Oh, it's not going to matter. But because you have those two all-rounders who, you know, are, I'd say, you know, pure all-rounders. They're not guys who are in there that are in there for the bowling and can bat a wee bit, or vice versa. They are pure all-rounders. They are going to offer something with both bat and ball. And because of that, it does give you the option to go. Because you've got those two, that's two seamers there, 2 out of your 5 bowlers. It does mean that you can go and obviously play an extra batsman possibly. It means you can play Matthew Wade down. You know, we have seen him bat at number 8 in this series, which potentially, you know, he could go and bat there. You could bat 6 and 7 for the all-rounders, and then have your 3 frontline bowlers, shall we say. You could change around, bat them at 5 and 6, which personally I don't see happening, but it could. And when you're looking at that, you're playing the keeper at 7, whether it's Matty Wade or not. And then you can play your 4 frontline bowlers, which potentially could be 2 spinners. And then you can get your 5th bowler out of the other 2. Which I think is, you know, it's a good selection headache to have. In New Zealand, I guess, just changing the subject completely, we're kind of, I wouldn't say in exactly the same boat, but we're in a pretty similar boat when it comes to both Jimmy Neesham and Corey Anderson. In all forms of the game as well. Like, a lot of people will be just saying, yeah, one-day internationals, put them both in, rah, rah, rah. I think even in test matches as well. I mean, Jimmy Neesham, when he made his test debut against India, I can't quite remember when it was, but he was in basically because I think we were short of a bowler, actually. We were short of a bowler, and basically he was brought in to support, I guess, the front 3 seam bowlers. He was batting at number 8, so he was in there, you know, primarily for his bowling. But I think he scored 100 on debut, took a couple of wickets, and he's been a guy who's been pretty vital. You know, he's probably underappreciated, I guess, in the New Zealand setup. He's one of those guys who is very consistent. He is one of those guys, probably not a match winner like Mitchell Marsh or James Faulkner, but he definitely goes and gets the job done for you. He's a guy who's going to bat in the middle to lower order. He's going to score you a few runs, not heaps, in one-dayers especially, and T20s. But he's going to be very useful with the ball. You know, he is a wee bit expensive, and Corey Anderson's a bit the same, and that's where sometimes, you know, people can get a little bit caught up, is that, yeah, maybe these guys are a wee bit expensive, but, you know, it really does just depend on the day. I mean, anyone can go for 100 in a one-day, depending on the batsman's mentality, depending on the pitch, depending on the boundary length. You know, there's a lot of things that go in and play into the mind when it comes to this. And this is a pretty tricky field. I want to go straight. Oh, I've gone way too straight. I actually wanted to go over cover. That's where I wanted to go, not straight. But a very good start again from Cliffy. Got his team into a winning position, 73 off just 25 deliveries. So a very good start. Didn't bat through the power play. I kind of wanted today to try and chase a total rather than going and set. But it seems to be Hampshire's mentality that win the toss, bat first. We scored over 200, so that's put us in a good position to start off with, and we should be tuning up with another win, which is kind of what we need because we've lost to Sussex twice. So at the moment, I think possibly we're level with them on points, or maybe they have a game in hand or something like that, but we have definitely gone and won this game. As you can see, high fives all around. Jimmy Adams, man of the match, 84 not out off 52. Great to see him scoring some runs. We did only take 4 wickets in the second innings, which is a little bit of a concern, but we were able to go and contain them for a 33-run victory. So anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this up here. Do hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to leave a like. If you are new, please do subscribe. Make sure you check out my Facebook and Twitter. Links to that can be found down below in the description. Hope you guys have had a good weekend. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. Rugby League Live career mode. Carrying on with the Parramatta Eels in the 9s. Hopefully we can go and make it to the knockouts. You guys will have to tune in to see. Make sure you do not miss that.